US is a NATO member, and the recent announcements concern the military deployments within the framework of the NATO membership of both the country which decides and the countries which are hosting. So it's not really up to the EU to comment, although, of course, we are watching with interest all the developments that affect European security. But since we are two different organizations, it's not really up to us to comment on the decision of the US administration, which stems from its membership in the NATO alliance.
Thank you. David, I understand that you have a follow-up question.
If I could just push you a little bit, Peter. I mean, we've seen the NATO-EU dialogue increase quite a bit in recent months, often precisely because of unilateral actions by the US. And so I wonder if, in that context, you might consider that it is appropriate for the EU to have a comment here, but also in light of some of what we saw in the budget deal and how security lines appear to be decreased from what the Commission had proposed. Are we seeing some change here in the sort of EU outlook on security and defense, that in fact an initial instinct maybe earlier this year, late last year, toward really stepping up EU work on the security and defense front, is that changing? Is there a sort of political retreat there perhaps, since you don't seem to be so, I hear you saying you're interested, but not so interested enough to comment?
Peter.
On the first part of your follow-up question, again, this is the decision of the US administration, so really not for us to comment, and it affects deployment of their troops at the territory of other NATO members. On the second part of your question, these are all relevant questions, but again, no change there. You might be interested in following then the informal meeting of the defense ministers towards the end of next month, when they might touch upon all the developments which happened since their last meeting, and that includes also the budget issues and the security and defense strategy. But at this stage, I cannot say that there would be any change, and I wouldn't link these two things as you made the indirect link, of course.
Thank you very much, Peter and David.